The shingle at the Grand Floridian.
Yeah, to the shingle on a scale from cookies at Magic Kingdom to shingles at Grand Floridian, it probably ranks somewhere in the middle.
Hey y'all, it's LJ here, owner and founder of Smart Moms Plan Disney and Smart Moms Travel. We are so glad you're here for another episode of the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast. Now, here's your host, Allie.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast, an extra magical episode today as we deep dive into the holidays at Disney World. I am your host, Allie, today joined by Stacy and Karla. Good morning, girls.
Good morning.
Hello.
I feel like it's been a minute since the three of us did this together, so I'm really excited. And Karla is fresh off a 90-minute school drop-off drive, which, you know, is mom life at this point in our lives. Stacy, we talk all the time, you're really removed from that era of life, but I don't spend 90 minutes in the car in the morning, but my afternoon is 90 minutes daily to get my kids from school.
Now it kills me, and I just told the girls this, is that I just spent an hour and 40 minutes in my car. I could have been at Disney.
It's crazy. And my kids take the bus to school in the morning, but they have to get picked up in the afternoon. And it's literally, I listen to podcasts and I sit in my car for an hour and a half to 2 hours every single afternoon. It's tough stuff, but we're making it. We're making it through. It's officially fall here. You all live in hot climates.
I was going to say, it's definitely not fall here.
Yeah, it's been like uncomfortably warm for it being now fall where I live. It's definitely not as cool as I would like it, but we're definitely out of the dog days of summer. We usually in our house are big Halloween people. We love decorating for Halloween. We have the big 6-foot skeleton, and we got the Great Dane skeleton dog to go with it this year. And we like hand make the Halloween costumes and all of that. But I don't know if it's the age my kids are or what, but I'm like Christmas mood early, holiday mood early. I will still acknowledge and honor and decorate Halloween, but when do you all put your Christmas up? Because November 1st, baby, and I'm like playing Christmas music.
Well, before we get into it, can I just ask Stacy, because she's in charge of these things, because she's the one that actually edits our pod. Do you think for this episode we can like cue some jingle bells or some sort of Christmas jingle?
Believe it or not, I have also considered that as well. I do need to figure out how to do that. So hopefully by the time we're listening to this, I can insert it right here.
The only acceptable answer for holiday music is going to be Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas.
Yes.
Gosh, do you know that song, but the version with Justin Bieber, is in my playlist 365 days out of the year. I love it. And when I shuffle and it comes up, and it just makes me so happy and it puts me in such a great mood. That is the only Christmas song I have on my playlist 365.
That might need an intervention, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I listen to it 10 times a day in November and December, but outside of that, we might need to have a conversation.
Remember when LJ told Allie that she needed therapy? Maybe there's a buy one, get one free deal that both of you guys can jump on.
Yeah, well, I won't deny that. Yeah, I will not turn that away.
So look, I mean, how many songs do you have on your playlist? Because I have it's in the 900s in my library that I shuffle. So it doesn't come up very often, but it's such a fun little treat when it does. Do y'all not do that? And this is actually an interesting conversation, I think, because my husband hates a shuffled playlist. He wants to listen to an album from beginning to end, and he will put an album on repeat and just go through that one set of songs. And I don't like that. I want to have a huge, eclectic 1,000-song playlist of every single thing and put it in and let Siri surprise me, like let it, whatever she wants to pick for my day. That's what I hear. What about y'all?
I don't have a playlist. I usually just whatever I'm into. So right now it's like play Chapel Roan music. Like I tell Alexa, that's where I listen. And it's fall, like I said. So I'm just listening to a lot of NFL football podcasts and making myself sad that way because my team is off to a rough start. That's kind of what I do until November 1st. And I switch it over to Christmas music.
I'm a little bit of you and Donnie in that I can really appreciate a full album in its entirety in a non-shuffled form, right? Because sometimes you play an album, but it's also shuffled, but I like it the way the artists intended it to be. And then I also really enjoy like a genre of music with a playlist that surprises me, but never does like Mariah Carey hop in June.
I saw the funniest internet meme. It was Mariah Carey in her Santa outfit that she wears on that album cover. and she was like frozen in a block of ice. And it was like,
Yes.
"Is your
Just
warning."
waiting to break out.
Yes.
Oh yeah, she's
Yes.
in
I saw
defrost.
that.
Yeah.
She's for
Oh,
sure.
So
It's
cute.
coming. It
Yeah.
is coming.
Yep.
For sure. But how early? Like, it's too early if it's before Halloween. November 1st is right for me. And my favorite holiday album, my brother actually introduced it to my family. Nobody knows about it, but it's this artist named JD McPherson. And the album is called Socks. And I just get so, when I get to turn that album on, tides have turned. It is winter. It is the holidays. I get so excited. So, yeah, November 1st for me.
November 1st is early, but here's why I like it. It's because in Florida, you have to put yourself in the mood of the holidays. Like we don't have that seasonal change. So we often have to make it. We have to fake it till we make it. And November 1st can be a little bit early. Sometimes I like to wait till after Thanksgiving, but I definitely feel like it'll be earlier than usual this year.
I think I would really hate living somewhere where the environment didn't lean into the feeling that I'm used to for the holidays. The weather puts me in the mood. The music puts me in the mood. I am bringing out my holiday decorations on November 1st. I think it has to do with the age my kids are. Like I said, just after Thanksgiving is too short. It comes and goes so fast. It's so much work to decorate for the holidays. And we celebrate Christmas in our family. Obviously, that's what we're talking about. But really, anything you're decorating for, yeah, it takes so long that I want to be able to enjoy it for as long as I can.
Because I need so much help with asking the guys to get the tree from our storage outside, and I have to talk people into helping me out. And I get a lot of flack if it's really before Thanksgiving, honestly. So if I can talk anybody into helping me bring things in and get things set up, and my guys really are really helpful with, they do a lot for me. So I just do it when they're willing and able.
Hallie, I think the reason you have to start so early is because you have so many decorations. You guys should see. We need coverage of when you bring out your Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boxes and totes and bags and trees in every room.
I think we had 6 or 7 or 8 trees last year. It was out of control. It was really wild.
That's really wild. That is
Yeah.
wild. Yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Carla's not wrong. It's a crazy level of decorations, but we get really into it. I put like lights in all my kids' rooms. We have holiday bedding. We go crazy. So I do have to start early. And then after all that work, I want to enjoy it. But then after the holidays, I'm really ready for it to go away. Like after it's over. I'm ready for it to be gone. I need my house back to normal. Like December 26th, let's transition this. I'm done.
I totally agree. And opposite of me is my husband, who is like the joke on the street because our inside goes away almost immediately because that's what I'm in charge of. Our outside lights and decorations stay up. I'm not even joking you till the end of January. It's so embarrassing. And everybody laughs at him like he just needs that like little extra joy because he claims he didn't get it growing up. Boohoo. Like sad story, Matt type thing. And now he's trying to make up for it by giving everybody the cheer. But it goes for, I think one year it was even like the first week in February.
I will say I have been guilty of the outside being prolonged because I'm not in charge of that. And actually, we've had outside people help us with that in the past. And sometimes that's just the way that goes. Last year, I think ours was up for a while. And I just kept looking at neighboring houses and being like, okay, theirs is still up. So we're not super embarrassing yet. Like we're on par with everybody else. Like it's okay. But yeah, the inside, I need peace again. The holiday stuff is so pretty. And then by the end of it, it feels like clutter. And then I need it gone. I want everything empty. But I think Disney agrees with us or with me because they decorate for the holidays on November 1st. Like, except for the exception of last year where they oddly had a Halloween party on November 1st. I thought that was so weird.
Weird.
So weird.
Yeah, in 2023 they did that. So they do that changeover. You go to bed, it's Halloween. You wake up, it's the holidays. Have y'all ever seen that happen?
I have not. I think that sounds really cool, and I think it would be a fun thing to see, but no, I have not.
So I've seen a changeover at Disneyland and Disney World. We were on one of our Disneyland vacations, and I know we're talking about World today, but we happened to be there on the first day of their Halloween celebration. So it wasn't a change from Halloween to the holidays, but overnight the parks were normal. We went to bed, and when we woke up, the cars were in Halloween costumes, and there were Halloween decorations and merch and snacks everywhere. It was crazy. The big pumpkin was out, and we had closed down the parks the night before and then rope dropped the next morning. So it was really wild to see. And then the Halloween to the holidays changeover that we saw in Florida, it was in 2020. And so it was not as full out, I think, as it normally is, but we were in Magic Kingdom on Halloween that year. There were obviously no Halloween parties or anything, and the parks were still closing pretty early. But when we went back to the park the next day on the 1st, we were at Hollywood Studios and it was decorated for the holidays. It was cool. But I think it would be even bigger now because, like I said, that was 2020.
Which is crazy because I always just assumed it was Magic Kingdom that switches overnight. But if you're saying it was Hollywood Studios too, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, in 2020, when we were there, Hollywood Studios was our day after, was our November 1st. And they had those, those garland stars that they hang down Sunset Boulevard ornaments.
Love
yes,
them.
that was all up. And that's what and it wasn't really over the top. Like I didn't even notice it right away. And then I was like, oh my gosh, they've transitioned over here.
Speaking of which is your favorite park for holiday decor? Because you're speaking of my favorite park, which is Hollywood Studios, because it's that kind of like vintage, tinsely glamour.
Yes.
Love it.
I do too. It just really reminds me of my childhood in my.
Because you're vintage, Stacy?
Yes, and I am vintage. I love it.
Oh gosh, that's really hard for me. I mean, I think the tree at Animal Kingdom is really breathtaking. But I mean, is there anything more magical than Magic Kingdom at the holidays? Like, I don't know. Because everybody knows that Magic Kingdom is not my favorite park, just in general. But I love the castle and I have so much nostalgia for it. So like if it's a special occasion, Magic Kingdom, like the holidays, does it get more magical than that? Like, is that the best park for the holidays?
Main Street USA during the holidays is pretty amazing. I don't like where they put the tree at Animal Kingdom. I do think it's a great tree, but I don't like its location. I wish it was in the park somewhere, but now that I'm thinking about it, I have no idea where that location would be.
Yeah, for listeners that don't know, tell them where the tree is.
The tree is like right after security. It's basically like
Yeah,
right,
it's like right
yeah,
before.
it's before you enter the park
For the gates.
where all the chaos is happening.
But like,
Whatever.
how are you gonna, unless they decorate the tree of life as a holiday tree, like,
Which
Which would be cool.
which actually, not a bad idea.
not a terrible idea.
I mean, what are they gonna do with the Christmas tree at Animal Kingdom when the actual park icon is a giant tree?
Yeah,
you know?
like put the tree in front of the tree.
For the tree in front of a tree. Just string up lights on the tree of life. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Main Street USA. I don't need the holidays throughout like Tomorrowland. That's not what I'm talking about. It's specifically Main Street, I think. For me, I do wish that you could like sip champagne, as we've talked about right there, just enjoying the holidays. That would make it even better. But I think that's the best, right? It's the best park to experience it. It's where the Very Merry Christmas party is that we're going to talk about. I do like the big ornaments in the water at Hollywood Studios. I like that each park leans into its niche. There's no park that really does it poorly, right?
Well,
Do you agree?
What do you have to say about it, Stacy?
yeah, I do have a little bit of feelings on it. I do think Epcot kind of does it poorly. There's, I don't know. It could be so much more, but one of my favorite Christmas things is at Epcot, so I got to give them credit for that, and we'll talk about that in just a moment, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really cool if Epcot had a tree in every country that was really kind of nostalgic of that, specific place or,
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they have a whole festival around the holidays, right? The Festival of the Holidays at Epcot. We've talked about this before being kind of the most underwhelming of the festivals.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yep.
So to just not lean into it a little bit harder when you're, putting a whole festival around it is kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, I think when we're really talking about like what each park has at its disposal and the way that they could turn that into holidays, I would agree that Epcot does it the worst. Because I think they have the most to work with. Like, I think Epcot just as a park has the most to like evolve into the holidays. And I do think they miss the mark a lot.
You know how Disney Springs does the tree trail? If there was a tree trail at Epcot where you're literally entering into each country and the music changes and whatever their decorations are in that country, I don't know. It could be better. You can cut that out,
Yeah.
Stacy.
No, I think that's good. I think that's right. This episode of the Smart Moms Plan Disney podcast is brought to you by BabyQuip, the #1 baby gear rental service across the US, Canada, and beyond. There is nothing more difficult for my family with 3 young kiddos than when we are traveling. We're just out of rhythm without our things. We just feel out of step and our kids feel off. It can make our vacation feel so much more stressful than it needs to. With a wide range of baby and toddler equipment available, including cribs, strollers, car seats, toys, and more, BabyQuip helps give us some of that normalcy that our kids crave and we need as parents when we are away from home. When they're happy, we're happy. And by using local quality providers that are often moms, dads, and grandparents just like us and you smarties that are listening today, BabyQuip makes sure that you are working with somebody who understands the needs of your family firsthand. If you need it, they have it. All products follow strict cleanliness and safety protocols and are also insured to give you that extra peace of mind that you need to really enjoy your vacation. With convenient delivery to your location, whether it's a home, a hotel, a vacation rental, wherever you're calling, home away from home, they've got you covered. BabyQuip is available in over 1,500 cities, making it accessible. So whether you're heading to Disney World, Disneyland, or another travel destination, BabyQuip will be there for you. With their easy-to-use online platform, you don't have to stress about getting your products. Head to babyquip.com. Use code SMPOD, that's SMPOD, to get $30 off of any order of $150 or more. That's babyquip.com. Pack light, travel happy. So when do the holidays start at Disney World? That date can really vary, but it's usually like the mid-second week of November, right? That feels safe.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the decorations are, like we said, November 1st, but I think to be safe, that second week in November.
Yeah, and I don't think everything is fully finished by November 1st. Like, I don't think it's safe to assume everything will be up. You start the transition and it is super magical, but I don't think you can expect everything to be fully finished until like that first weekend in November or so. And then that's when it gets really immersive and that's when the parties kick off. And so it really depends on the level you're thinking. Somebody comes to me and they say, I want to see the holidays at Disney. I would push it back a little, just because you want to make sure that you get the immersive experience. And I do think that that includes the parties, and each of the parks do offer something really special. So we're going to break that down. I think for anybody that's considering a trip during the holidays, the number one thing that they're worried about is crowds and cost. And the number one thing they're excited about is these special events that we're going to talk about. And of course, the holiday magic that you get to experience. There are some good promotions that Disney offers during the holidays, so I wouldn't be too scared of price, even though it is elevated definitely during these times of year. And there are ways to strategize with your travel agent about finding the lowest cost within the frame that you're looking. And the crowds are going to be what they are as well. It's not necessarily an off season because you have a limited time to see the things that Disney offers during the holidays. But all of that aside, I think enjoying the holiday offerings is something that if you're somebody that loves Disney and the holidays especially, is something you should prioritize. Do you agree?
I definitely agree. I've said it before that I'm not a crowd person, but when it comes to the holidays, I just let all that go. I think the magic of the holiday season at the most magical place on earth, which is Walt Disney World, just totally outweighs, as long as you have the right expectations of the crowds and maybe some extra costs with extras like the holiday parties, that it's totally worth visiting Disney during the holiday season.
Yeah, I think it's important that if you're planning a trip during this time, you do temper your expectations and you realize the trip you're planning. Utilize Lightning Lane and strategize the parks in the ways that are going to lean into less crowds if you can, or things like that. But also, in tempering those expectations, lean into the excitement of getting to experience these unique things. So let's take it by park. Epcot, we'll start there because we all think they dropped the ball just a little bit over there. If you go to Epcot, you don't need a special ticket for the event that they're holding, which is the Festival of the Holidays. Now, we talked about the Festival of the Holidays before. It's just like any of Epcot's other festivals. When you go into Epcot, when you have a ticket to Epcot, you get to experience the festival booths and the festival offerings. Do you like the festival booths at Festival of the Holidays? Especially Stacy, I'm interested to hear what you think because I know the other things that you love about Epcot at the holidays.
Yes, the booths are fine. It would probably put it equal level with the booths at the other festivals as well, which I'm also not super. They don't rank super high for me. Just not really where I spend a whole bunch of my time. I enjoy them, but I don't put them heavily in my rankings.
Yeah.
But the things I do enjoy, are we ready to just jump into that at Epcot
Yeah, why
International?
don't you talk a little bit about this because So many people love this. I have never done it, and this is like one of your top Disney things.
Yeah. Yeah. So the weight of my enjoyment of Candlelight Processional really goes heavy into why I do enjoy. I don't want to put down Epcot too much because the Candlelight Processional is one of my favorite things. It is the Christmas story from scripture being read by a celebrity that they've brought in for a couple of nights. That's always a nice, fun surprise. Really cool celebrities getting to do that. They have a choir, usually of like a high school choir or some sort of organization has provided a choir that is fantastic. So it is an impressive musical performance and just very special, very in the mood of reading the Christmas story. And I just love it. One of my favorite things. It is very ceremonial with the marching in of the choir and candlelight, and it's awesome. I love it. You got to try it.
Yeah, and that's called the Candlelight Processional. People love it. You don't necessarily need a ticket to it, right? But getting a Candlelight Processional dining package
Yeah.
to give you good seating is something you should prioritize if this is something you're interested in seeing, because it is so popular that without that priority seating, you're probably going to be standing probably really far back. And while you may be able to hear, seeing will probably be pretty difficult. So there are ways to prioritize making sure you get to see this. Stacy, you mentioned high school choirs will sometimes sing. For listeners that may not know or remember, Becky's daughter actually got to do that, which was really, really
For
special.
like a few times.
Yeah, I was trying to think if she just did it the one time or if it's been twice.
I think it's been twice. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years in a row, right? And so that was been really special for them. But yeah, it's a really cool thing. And you said celebrity readers. They've had like Neil Patrick Harris has done it.
Yep.
And every year when they release who the readers are going to be, it's really exciting. And they get some big names. John Stamos is always like a really popular
Yeah, that was
one.
actually the name I was fixing to throw out.
Yeah, people love when John Stamos does it. And then they have like Disney celebrities like Jodie Benson, who was the original
Mhm.
Ariel. She does it sometimes. So
Josh Gad has done it.
yeah, Josh Gad was a huge hit. So those are just really, it's one of those things that Epcot does really well, and that people like travel to Disney World at the holidays for that specific thing. And then while you're at Epcot specifically for that, you get to enjoy the festival booths, the Festival of the Holiday booths. They do lean into the holiday winter cuisine from each country, which is nice. And you have the holiday music playing. And another fun thing that they do, Karla mentioned the Christmas tree stroll that they do over at Disney Springs. Epcot does the cookie stroll. Have you all done that before?
Yeah, well, but I've seen a lot of people that do it, and the cookies are looking a little dry.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm glad you said that. So each country offers like a cookie or a sweet from their country, like as part of the stroll, and you can mark it off. But yeah, they don't look so great.
And you know, the cookies, and we'll get to this too, at the holiday party at Magic Kingdom are so good. I don't understand why they can't duplicate
Yeah.
this.
Still a fun thing to do, if you have little ones, who doesn't want to go and grab a cookie from every country? Like that's actually sounds like great fun. I mean, I
And I
still
don't
want to
think that they're bad. I don't think that they're bad. I think they're just a little below par.
on a scale from the cookie at the Magic Kingdom holiday parties to the shingles
The
on the gingerbread
shingle,
house.
the
The
shingle
shingles on-
at the Grand Floridian.
Yeah, to the shingle on a scale from cookies at Magic Kingdom to shingles at Grand Floridian, it probably ranks somewhere in the middle.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's a fun thing to do. And they also offer the Olaf scavenger hunt. So at all of these festivals at Epcot, they do like little for the kids, like scavenger hunts where you can find whomever you're searching for in each pavilion. And at the holidays, it's typically Olaf, which is great fun, makes a lot of sense. And then are you all living with the land people? Do you love living with the land?
This at Christmas is so fun. I was so surprised the first time I saw it at how fun it was. I do like living with the land. It is one of those staples we have always enjoyed, mainly just from nostalgia of it being where we would take our babies while they were too small to ride Soarin'. But
Mm.
seeing it with Christmas lights is so cool, and it just really gives it a nice mood, and it's like going through your old neighborhoods that you're used to seeing all the time, but now they have Christmas lights, and it makes this whole regular neighborhood that you're so accustomed to, it just makes it special. That's kind of that feel. It feels just like you're riding through your neighborhood, but now everybody's decorated with Christmas lights. It's really fun.
Yeah, there's a name for it too. I think Epcot calls it the Glimmering Greenhouses, and they do a holiday. There's not a whole lot of rides at Disney World that do holiday overlays, but they do at Epcot with the Living with the Land. And you're right, it does make it just so much more magical. For Living with the Land non-believers, this is your chance to get them on board because it's really fun.
Yeah.
Yes, it takes it from an ordinary stroll to a remarkable boat ride. I don't know.
Yeah, this would be a remarkable ride.
You add Christmas music and Christmas lights to a turd and it's going to make it better. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Is there an exception? Did either of you get to ride when, and I don't want to be misleading here because this is not happening this year, but in the past, Guardians of the Galaxy did a holiday overlay and they had holiday music on rotation during the holidays. Did either of you get to ride?
I was so disappointed.
okay, I
with
was
that.
too. I
Did you
thought we
ride
were
it?
going to. Okay, so you just proved
Oh
my
my
point that
goodness.
wasn't correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say because I think because it's not coming back, I don't think it was a very big hit. I loved the idea in theory, but I actually didn't get to experience it, which is a bummer. But yeah, I don't think it went very well.
It was so lame. And you know what was disappointing is there is some fun original music that they used for the Guardians show, Christmas special on Disney Plus. And they had some original Christmas music in that, and they didn't use that song. Like, I don't
But was
understand.
All I Want for Christmas by Mariah Carey on the rotation? Because I cannot say that I wouldn't think that that was a blast.
And it would be fun. It would be so fun. I mean, I'm sure there's all the copyright stuff.
Okay, anyway, they don't do that anymore. But Living with the Land does still have the holiday overlay. And that's kind of what you can experience at Epcot. The decorations are great, but could be better. The Festival of the Holidays is fun. Cookie Stroll is a great thing to do. And then, of course, the Candlelight Processional. I think they put all of their energy in that because that truly is what you are at Epcot for at the holidays, in my opinion. Okay, let's talk about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party at Magic Kingdom. I went last year. I do not have tickets to go this year because we're doing a Maritime cruise out of Fort Lauderdale. So it's just not fitting in my family jigsaw puzzle. But Stacy, I believe you have tickets, right?
We do. I'm so excited. Gonna go with my husband and my daughter and my 2 grandbabies. So I'm really so happy about that. It will be their first Christmas party, and we're so excited.
This party is so amazing. This year it's happening from November 8th through December 20th. I think that's an early end. Do you guys think that's an early end?
I do.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like it's been through Christmas Day at least in the past, right? I did not research this to say.
No,
You
I
think
think the
so?
23rd makes sense. Have the last party be the 23rd, and then leave Christmas Eve and Christmas Day open for people that have come for the holidays. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess they're just trying to eliminate closing the park early to people that are coming for the holidays would be my guess. But I do think that that's a really early end date, and I don't remember it being that early. Perhaps it was. I don't know, but I don't think so. This is super important. If you are planning a trip during the holidays, and you are going between November 8th and December 20th, you have to check your park hours. You have to know if there's going to be a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party at Magic Kingdom during your trip. Because if that's your one and only Magic Kingdom day and you don't have a party ticket, you are going to have to leave by 7 p.m. And too many people do not know this and do not check this, and they end up at Magic Kingdom, and then they end up having to leave Magic Kingdom without a full day, without seeing Happily Ever After, the fireworks. And it's just a huge beginner mistake. And if you learn anything from this episode, it's make sure that is not you.
You actually have to be out by 6 o'clock.
Oh, good.
They start kicking you out at 6. The party will start at 7, but they will start, if you do not have your wristband for the party, they'll start kicking you out at 6. So you will not be allowed into certain areas of Magic Kingdom by that point. I do think they let you stay on Main Street for a little bit of time if you're shopping. But yeah, it's so important to check that schedule during the holidays. It's such a sad thing to be disappointed and not know and not have a plan. not having park hopper to go somewhere else, or just missing out on riding some things and missing, happily ever after. That's another thing. It's like, okay, if you want to see happily ever after, you need to make sure you know which nights it's open and going to be showing. So yeah, check those schedules.
Yeah. And bonus, if you do have a party ticket, you get to get into the park at 4 o'clock. So you get some bonus regular Magic Kingdom time ahead of the party. What is your favorite part of this party? Do you think this party is worth it? Do you like this party? Karla, do you like this party?
Let Stacy talk because I've never been to it.
You've never been to Very Merry?
No, I haven't. I've only done Mickey's Not So Scary. I really want to do Very Merry this year.
Oh yeah, I do love this party. And I think I'm on record here on the podcast saying I prefer the Halloween party. And there are elements that I do, but gosh, the Vicky's Very Merry Christmas Party is so magical. I think it is so worth it. You get Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas Parade, which, come on, Santa closes that parade. It's so amazing. It's so special. It's like
Are those the floats that when they go by, they smell like gingerbread?
there are smells, there are sounds, there are dancing toys, there's Snow, the snow, like it is, oh my gosh, it is so much fun to watch. It's full of joy. I can't say enough good things. Minnie's wonderful Christmas time fireworks. I love a special fireworks show. They're so fun. They're wonderful. It's a good length show. I mean, that alone is worth a good price of your ticket, honestly. The stage shows, I was actually a little disappointed. Stacy, do you like the stage shows at Mickey's Very Merry?
That's interesting that you say that, because I'm usually not a big fan of the stage shows. I've mentioned it before that I feel like it's just a filler to try to help with some crowd control to make people stop in the hub for a second. But I actually think that one's pretty cute.
The one with the cell phone?
Maybe it's just yeah.
It's really weird.
And I forgot that was the plot.
I'm like honestly struggling to remember exactly what the story was. And I believe there was a cover of All I Want for Christmas. And I think Clarabelle Cow was singing it.
Yep. That's true. That part did not stick in my long-term memory. I had forgotten that part.
And they have cell phones and they're dancing with the cell phones. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, I know. It probably is pretty silly, but what I do remember is their costumes and kind of the end pose made for some really cute pictures. And I don't know, I thought it was super cute. And there are lots of characters at one time on stage, so it does make for some cute photos. I thought it was great. I forgot about the story.
Yeah, I'm here for Clarabelle Cow singing Mariah Carey all day. Like that sounds fantastic. But I do remember watching the show and looking at my wife and we were just like, what is going on? Like this is really weird. But yeah, it's cute. It's fine. It's definitely a funny moment, if not a wonderful one. I love the holiday clothes that the characters wear. You do get an included cookie and cup of cocoa, and this cookie is really good. It was like a gingerbread cookie. I love
To say, is it just you're making it sound like I'm gonna go and I'm only gonna get one cup of cocoa and one cookie? Can you get like multiple?
Oh, there's multiple kinds. Yeah, they're very good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the trick or treat trails during the Halloween party. So there's multiple places that you go through and they'll just walk you through and you pick up a cookie. I think there's it's going to be like chocolate chip, your little snickerdoodle, and
the iced gingerbread.
Yeah, and then gingerbread. Yeah. Yeah, maybe just the three.
I don't remember either.
And then there's different ciders that they'll do, a hot chocolate. So there's some various options, but I think they're very good.
Yeah. They're really well marked too. Like I remember last year there were giant lit up candy cane poles, and that's how you knew it was like a cookie stop. It was really great. It was easy to navigate, and you get a map, of course. I think it's important to note that if you're interested in seeing any of these holiday shows, parades, anything, like it is party specific. You cannot see them if you don't have a party ticket. So don't go to Disney World during the holidays and think that you're going to see Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas parade during the day at Magic Kingdom. You're not. It is a party specific thing, and the ride overlays. So we talked a little bit about how Living with the Land has an overlay. At the party specifically, Space Mountain has red and green lights and holiday music, which is fun. I loved that, and I didn't realize it before we wrote it the time at the party, and that was like a nice little surprise. The Mad Tea Party has been known to do some holiday songs and special lighting. The Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor will incorporate holiday jokes. The Tomorrowland Speedway has like lights and decorations out, kind of like, and that really is, Stacy, like you're driving through a neighborhood because you are driving the Tomorrowland Speedway cars and you can see those decorations. And then the most popular holiday overlay ride is going to be the Jingle Cruise. And that is what they turn the Jungle Cruise.
Stop it. They changed a
Yeah,
letter.
the Jingle Cruise.
Okay,
It
just
is
coming from,
cute.
I'm just off my trip to Disneyland, which was, everything was Halloween, right? Oogie Boogie Bash is going on. Didn't go to the physical party, but Disneyland does overlays and the holidays so well over there that now comparing it to what I've seen Disney World do, it is bleak. The decorations and the overlays at Walt Disney World are sad in comparison. But yeah, Jingle Cruise, so popular.
It's really cute. But I tell you what else, I also do like the Monsters Inc. laugh floor. They'd say it's an overlay for the Halloween party, but really it's just kind of of course, it's all improv, I guess, but it's really just kind of you walk through and they're kind of joking on people as you're walking by, kind of a thing, as you're getting your trick or treat trails. But for the Christmas party, it is an actual show where you go in and sit down. They've got the graphics up on the screen have all changed. They're in costume and all the jokes are Christmas related and it is adorable. I love, love, love it.
Yeah, it's really fun. The holiday party, the highlight for me is when it snows on Main Street. One of my favorite family photos, we're just like basking in the snow on Main Street. I did mention on the show once that I was like choking on it. And I have learned since that I am the only person that has that story to tell. Like nobody else has experienced that. But I do remember like vividly but maybe it was because I was like trying to catch snowflakes like I was in Ohio. I don't know. But the snow on Main Street with the castle in the background and the special fireworks and all of the lights, like to me, it's what your dreams and wishes are made of. It's like all the Disney.
How would you guys say the lines are during the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party?
That's a great
Wonderful.
question. Yeah, I think they're good. We only rode the holiday overlaid attractions personally. That's what we focused on, and then mostly just did the holiday stuff. But we didn't wait very long for much. I do kind of remember Mine Train still being kind of a long line. And I wasn't willing to wait on it at that point because we were there for the party. But for the most part, I thought they were great. Okay, we're going to take another break. Well, we've only talked about 2 parks and only one more has great holiday offerings. So stay tuned, see which park that is. And for any smart moms, travel agents listening today, your hidden Mickey will be Wishes.
So I did a new thing. Hey Smarties, this is Stacy from the podcast. I have a new spot on the internet where I show a little bit more of my personal Disney experiences. Come see me at youtube.com/ and then the @ Stacy Walker Travels. See what my husband and I dressed as for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, or watch my husband's funny first attempt at collecting content by himself. Whichever episode you see, the goal is for it to be entertaining and helpful. youtube.com/ @Stacy Walker Travels. See the show notes for a link.
Hey there, friends. I'm Katie Boone, one of your podcast co-hosts. I'd love to invite you to join my Facebook Disney planning community called Planning Disney with Babies, Toddlers, and Preschoolers. In my group, I love discussing all the aspects of planning your magical vacation with little ones. Find my community at facebook.com/groups/Plan Disney with Little Ones. Again, that's facebook.com/groups/Plan Disney with Little Ones. When you join, don't forget to tell me you heard about my group on the podcast. See you there.
All right, we are back, and I'm having so much fun talking about the holidays. I'm like ready to go get my bajillion totes out, and it's not even Halloween here yet. But this is going to be really fun. Karla, I'm excited to get your voice here on this park because this is Hollywood Studios, and it was not really until last year that they leaned into the holidays more. I think like Epcot, like we talked about, they have so much to offer in terms of just natural theming for what the park is, being that old Hollywood glitz and glamour. Hollywood Studios decorations, Karla already mentioned, it's like the tinsel and the garland. They have the giant ornaments. They put the Santa hat on. Forgive me, what's the dinosaur's name?
Birdie.
Gertie.
Yeah. They put the Santa hat there and then, the ornaments in the water. It's really nice. It's super fun. But last year, they started the new after-hours party called Jollywood Nights. Becky, who's obviously not recording with us today, is going for the first time this year. So we've been talking about it a lot among us in the podcast team and just how excited she is. And all of you have been. I'll be the last one that hasn't gone. This is a 5-hour party within a similar window as Very Merry. It's November 9th through December 21st. Similar date range, but a lot less parties. So where Very Merry is a few times a week, this is like half the amount of parties at Hollywood Studios. Talk to me about Jollywood Nights, because I think in theory, this is an incredible idea. And I do think it's going to continue to evolve.
I agree. Obviously last year was its premiere year. It was new. They definitely had some kinks that they were working out those first couple of parties, right? I was pretty far into it by the time I went. We took our children, 2 teenagers or preteens, and we had a great time. I think I was expecting a little more of a party type feel. And party, I mean, live music, more dancing, more shows. And I really wasn't getting that from what I experienced. But with that said, I also maybe should have left my children at home. To me, this would be a really great adults only type event. And I feel like that's kind of what they might be going for. I'm not quite sure, but tons of characters out, unusual characters. We always laugh because Katie got to hug Pinocchio and it like made her whole year. But tons of characters out. The food, they definitely had some festive drinks and food offerings, but with that said, those lines were very long. We did a lot of rides personally, which I feel like if I would have left my kids at home, I could have maybe experienced more of what the party had. What did you think about it, Stacy?
I actually thought during it that it would be so great to have your kids here because the lines were so incredibly low that they could just ride and ride and ride. So that thought crossed my mind. Opposite of you is like, because I didn't have kids and I thought how great it would be, and I was on the second party night where I feel like they had worked out some kinks from the first. I think that first night was a real tough one for people.
Yeah.
So I am thankful that I had a little bit of improvement and I had a great time. I loved it. It had such a cool vibe. It was so fun seeing everyone dressed up in that old glamour. I really like that is so right up your alley. Karla, I know that it's so fun to watch you get dressed up. And I loved that part of it to see how everyone was dressed. And it did give the feeling of kind of being at like a office Christmas party. Like it's like your office had rented out Hollywood Studios for the night. I don't know. It was kind of neat like that. There was also some weird little things. I actually was excited about the Muppet Show, Kermit and Miss Piggy being live. And that was a real disappointment, I have to say. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was, to me, was super lame. One of the things that I think could be so strong is back at Tower of Terror at the Hollywood Hotel, they've got a live band back there. And it was such a weird cramming in the corner of like putting this really talented band back there where you could not fit more than 50 people. That was super strange to me.
That's the corner of the park where things go to die, like the
Yeah.
car show. Like it was back there. It was probably one of the smallest walkways in all of the park. And they're like, this is
Yeah.
going to be a great place for a
Isn't
band.
that strange? It was so weird
I
to me.
think we can expect good things coming out of what they've learned, right? Like this year, they announced new character experiences. I do think being the movie park that it is, we can expect that those will be more rare characters. That's just my guess. They have something called the Skating Spectacular on Hollywood Boulevard. Sounds awesome.
That does sound
Give me
awesome.
that. Yeah. You're getting a Wonder Maid suite exclusive to the event given to you as you exit. I'm actually not sold on what that is. It's like a champagne marshmallow, but whatever, it's fine.
According to Becky, that's a big deal from Disney Springs that brand is a big deal. So she's excited about it. So I'm going to trust that. I don't know.
Yeah, some of the things you mentioned from last year are coming back. Disney's Holidays and Hollywood show at the Theater of the Stars. What's This? Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas sing-along. Themed entertainment hotspots around the park. Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam. That's like a dance hop.
No. Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam, excuse me, is their the last show of the night, and it's kind of their fireworks. They don't really have a full fireworks it's a projection onto Mickey and Minnie's Runaway, the theater,
Yeah.
and it's pretty cute. It's pretty cute.
There's nothing more I want at the holidays than to get like swanky and dressed up and go to a festive party. And that's what I want this party to evolve into. I want it to be where people go all out and get dressed up and they,
Like a dapper day, like a dapper night.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I want this party to succeed. I want it to be amazing. I want it to keep evolving. I want to wear a dress there that I have to wear nowhere else, you know? But yeah, be just like Magic Kingdom, be aware. This park is going to close early to non-ticketed Jollywood Nights guests if you're traveling during the dates. And it's just a good thing to keep in mind. So, holidays at Disney, so many amazing things to offer, so many things to experience. You are going to have to, like I said before, temper expectations for crowds and cost and things like that. It's not an off season by any means, but it can be strategized well. And the experiences that you're going to get are unique and magical and just level up your entire Disney experience. So I cannot recommend it more as long as you're just knowing what you're in for.
And even if you can't go to Disney during the holidays, like put it under your tree. Do you know what I mean? Like give your kids the gift of Disney for, I don't know, spring break or summer trip next year and figure out a way to wrap it up and get them excited about it. Some people, the holidays are just too busy of a time of year to make it work, but you can still kind of work it into your holiday gift giving and, getting your kids to Disney.
Right.
Just a thought.
I agree with that. What about you, Stace? Are you in or out on the holidays?
All in, baby. All in. Let's go.
Yeah. I think even if it's not your once in a lifetime trip and you are considering just a weekend, your normal Disney goers, prioritize these parties and special events and less about running from attraction to attraction or making sure you see and eat and experience every single thing, but really prioritize the holiday things. I think that's amazing.
And we can throw in too that they have a really fun New Year's Eve event. They don't make it it's not a ticketed event. So you can just go into your parks for New Year's Eve and they'll keep the park hours open through the countdown time. I don't know if it's every park, but I know that it'll be Magic Kingdom. I have back in the day when Disney Springs was downtown Disney, we went to a New Year's Eve party there one night. That was so fun. That was a good time. But I don't know what they do now. I don't know if I should even bring it up if I don't know.
Well, New Year's Eve is on my bucket list for Disney World, but just be advised that if that's something you're going to do, it's going to be crowded.
Yep.
And crowded, like the most crowded you can imagine. But I do think it's also one of those things that's like, go do it. If it's on your list, go do it.
Yep.
And just be ready for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't expect it to be your regular way of doing Disney. It is strictly going to a party.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm excited. The holidays are around the corner. So much to see and do and experience. Like I said, I'm getting my holiday Disney fix on a cruise ship this year. We're doing a Maritime cruise out of Fort Lauderdale. So I don't think I'm going to hit the parties, but there's still time. And so you never know what I might end up planning because I just don't know if I want to miss Jollywood Nights. I really want to go. Hey, if you enjoy listening to this podcast, take a second, leave us a review. Recently, Allie B89 said, absolutely love, love, love this podcast. These ladies are so fun to listen to, and I have learned so many tips and tricks about how to navigate Disney. I look forward to the new episode every week. Allie, thank you so much. Love your name, love your comment. Love that you took the time to leave that review. To anybody that enjoys listening, Tuesday, when our episode drops, leave us a review. Let us know. It helps us. It helps us continue to produce this awesome show for you that you're enjoying. So go ahead and do that. Leave us a 5-star rating while you're at it. And be sure to like and subscribe. And if you really want to go the extra mile and you are a loyal listener, smarty that just loves the show, consider joining our Patreon community. For our Diamond Mind members, we are giving Patreon exclusive guides that are companions to our episodes once a month. Make you an even bigger expert than you are just from listening to the show. It's a great value. Plus, you get exclusive access to the hosts and people behind the scenes. So it's a really fun place to hang out and be if you love this podcast. Hey, before we wrap it up, if you all were taking a trip to stay at Disney World, where would you be staying? What's your favorite resort? Where are you spending your time at the holidays specifically?
Wilderness Lodge.
Wilderness.
Yeah, that looks so good at holidays.
Yeah. What about you, Stacy?
Maybe Beach Club. That might be a fun one. They've got the really cute carousel, the gingerbread carousels in their lobby. I love that. It smells so good too.
Yeah, mine would be obviously the Grand Floridian. It just doesn't get more magical than that at the holidays. Bonus, for those of you traveling during this time of year, you can visit those resorts for free. Add that into your Disney vacation when you're there at the holidays. Go visit these resorts. They all decorate. They all have their special little touch, makes them unique. There are so many hidden gems and things to experience and explore at Disney World during the holidays. We hope that you'll consider it. Of course, if you are, reach out to your Smart Moms agent. If you don't already have one, reach out to one of us podcast hosts so we can give you some help. Till next time, everybody. We'll see you real soon.